You hear other people bitch and complain about their problems and you're like, oh yeah, but they wouldn't know it, right? Looking at you. So he wanted to start the readout with a sermon for all of y'all today.
It's every day.
We've got a picture of him in a pulpit at a church. And
He's for the people.
yes.
He's like, I'm really for the people. Have you been thinking about dating? You don't want to hear this.
Mm-mm.
I know. He told me, that's why he gave me the heads up. He's like, she will bucket. But think of it more as a companion to be with. Because the lonely is too much. It's too much. So, yeah, he's your soulmate. We know that. And he's right here with you every step along the way. But think about it like this. Be it from his point of view, right? Pretend like the roles are flipped, Shannon. You would be standing right here telling me to tell him to get up, to get out there, and to find... Yeah. Yes, you would. Yeah, because he knows every minute. He knows every second. He knows you, heart and soul. And he knows who you are and how you live. And you live to serve your partner. And right now there's a big gap. So you need somebody to tell off, to tell them to pick their shit up, to get up and get out. Let's go, let's get moving. And hey, hold my hand and let's go look at the water. You need that. Everything out of my mouth, I'm just telling you exactly what he's saying here. Only way that can happen is if you open to it a little bit. Now, if you trust him, he will guide, because he knows everything that's going on around you. He'll guide that perfect fit. One that's widowed as well, who's like, I just want a friend. Because if I'm going to have to live this life, maybe it'd be nice to have a best friend to live it with. Right? We have many best friends throughout our life, right? So it's time to actually consider becoming available for friendship. That's the way he puts it. Have you been feeling that and bucking it?
I miss him.
But hold on. Let's go to the truth of because you can't miss this communication. It has flowed through you a little bit. A thought, which you think is radical, you push it away. Maybe it'll come by way of, I don't want to be alone, but I am alone. It's him saying you don't have to be alone. So that minute he's trying to communicate that with you, it's coming in, you're pushing it back out. Right. Some people live life quite well solo. You don't. You don't do solo. You do couple. And so the fear of losing somebody else again is big. There's that. Well, if I open up to that again, what if this happens again? Well, you know, you live enough life, you could see that, right? But to be pigeonholed and you've pigeonholed yourself, he says. He leans in He's like, because, you know, you have opportunities to open up and allow others into your life. You just don't see it. Make sense? Mm-hmm. He's the one bringing the opportunity to you. So if you were heavenly transitioned, you would be guiding him, because he would be a hot mess if you were over here and he was right there. He would be a hot mess. And you'd be like, wow, you're a hot mess, but you're better at covering it up. People don't see it. I'm just telling you what he's saying. He said, yeah, when somebody's so pretty, they don't see it. Other people don't see it. They just see the pretty in front of them. They don't see the pain, right? Let's talk about anger. He's going all in. Don't you worry. Allow yourself the freedom to feel the anger that you feel. That will free you. Because you're pissed off at him for several things. And then it's really hard, because at the same time in the grief, at the same time where you're remembering all the wonderful things, and with him being on the other side and him being the victim in your mind, which he's not, he's heavenly, he's fine, he's way better off than you are now, quite frankly. But you are really pushing back on that anger. You're it's like huge fireball in your tummy, just like compact in there, right? Like, that's got to stay there. That's got to stay there, right? Not a good thing. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You have every right to be angry with him. He didn't listen to you, period. He was wrong. You were right. And that led us to where we are. And so you're taking the blame for something that actually, you know, you're looking in the mirror going, oh my God, it's my fault. But no, it's his fault. He didn't listen. This was going on here. I knew it. I felt it. Oh, but maybe I should have prevented it. I saw it all along, you know, that gift of knowing. I was worried. I felt it. I knew it. Maybe I didn't take action. Oh, it's my fault. He knows it all. He knows everything, and you're in that still. It's cycling through you still. So, one, he says, you can be angry with me. It won't hurt me. In fact, I expect it. Do that. Have words. Allow yourself the freedom to be pissed. And that will free you, and no longer will you have to contain that fireball of anger, because you have been holding that in for quite a while. You're afraid. I'm afraid to let that go. What's it going to do to my body? What happens if I get angry? I know it's huge. I'm going to have a heart attack if I get holding it down, right? You're triggered to that. I mean, he's gone in full today. He's like, so this should make sense to you. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. He's like, uh-huh. He's lost weight.
Figures.
Not a lot, but about that much. So take off about that much off his tum-tum.
Asshole.
He is wearing a red shirt right now. It's a button. It's like a deep burgundy red, right? Kind of like the pockets that a little rolled up. You know those, what are those shirts you wear if you're camping and the pockets have like the,
A little flap on top.
yeah, and the,
Like a snap and
A Columbia shirt? Like a zipper.
Yeah, we kind of get what you say. There.
Greg Norman.
But yeah. Uh-huh. It's blue jeans. But he's coming in the color red. Everything means something in a
He
read.
had on a red shirt the day he died.
Okay. So he's wearing a red shirt. Yo. And so you'll see the color red an awful lot, but the red it's a way he's going to communicate with you. It's not an effort to trigger you, but an effort to help you understand that, hey, I've been feeling that he's communicating, and boom, everybody you see today is wearing a red shirt. It's not a cruel joke. It's more of, you hear him say, hey, look over there, and that's why you see a red shirt. Meant to validate you and the fact that you're hearing him. Okay. It's nothing but a game of Clue. Gotta be a spiritual detective here. Yeah, you gotta put it together. And he is talking about how you are unsettled as far as where you want to be, where you want to live, what you want to do. You are like, what do I want to do? Where do I want to be? Where do I want to live? Where do I want to be? Okay. So first step he wants you to take is just to acknowledge that, hey, I don't know where I want to be. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want. And be okay with not knowing what you want, okay? Just be okay. Be free with that. So you can sit there for 3 years going, I don't know what I want. We're okay with that, all right? You did good in shifting. You want a house, you don't want a house. Right?
Well, I've made some changes.
Did you get a house? And you don't want the house?
No, I think I do.
Where's the house?
North Carolina.
But you don't want the house. I'm just telling you what he's saying. He's like, she got the house, and now she's stuck with it, but she doesn't really want the house. She's got the house, she likes the house, she doesn't want. You got to follow your heart. You're not really happy there. So you're walking through the fire and coming back home here, okay? So that's why you're running from here, but your heart calls you back here. You're like, I don't want to stand in the fire. So when you're there, you're he's being a smart ass, happy. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. So, you can sell that house and you can do whatever the hell you want to do, right? You don't have to stay where you are. You can do whatever you want to do, period. And to hell with what anybody, we don't need a peanut gallery. We don't care what anybody thinks. That's what he's saying here. That's why it's been rolling through your mind. Because you're not really a rebel, but it's been rolling through your mind. I don't care what they think. You're getting a little bit spicy inside, where you're looking at people going, They would never know, because sweet old Shanna would never say shit if she had a mouthful. Yeah.
No, she would.
He's telling me so much to keep. Right? So, instead of considering other people, I don't know who we're talking about because I don't do psychic read, just telling you what he's saying here, do what you want. And if it changes next Tuesday, do what you want. And if it changes the month later, do what you want. Period. Fly free. This is an opportunity he's giving you by going home early. There's a reason why he's over here. You're still here. You would have never, ever stepped out of your comfort zone and do what you're fixing to do if he were still here. And you'll be thanking him when you go home and smacking him at the same time for leaving you here.
That is true.
Okay. He's going back to look, everything does happen for a reason. There was a reason why you were there with me in that moment on a more eternal note. All right? That spiritual bond, that spiritual bloodline that flows between the both of y'all. Look, something very precious when you have a child. You're there when they come into this life and they take their breath. Right? Something very precious in that moment when a person leaves the physical realm and takes their last physical breath. That is such a powerful, powerful bond, never to be broken. The closeness that you have is connected in that pain, but your pain is your power. So thinking of it more in the way of, I'm walking through this. You hear other people bitch and complain about their problems and you're like, oh yeah, but they wouldn't know it, right? Looking at you, right? What you carry. That's your strength. It's your power. So you've isolated out a little bit. You've isolated yourself, right? A little bit too much compared to who you are. You're a people person. Okay, now you have that toolbox. Now you have that power and that strength to help people. Use it. That's the only way you're going to get out of this hell. Only way. The grief will be with you till your last breath, like somewhere in time, until we meet again. Even when you do find a partner or somebody to go with you through this life, right? That pain will still be there until you are with him in the same realm. But look at what you can do. Look at that power and that strength you have, you possess, and your loss. You have that ability to help people who've lost children. Right? Don't you think? Think about it. What's worse than that, right? You lose a soulmate. You know what true pain is. You can identify now with a mother who's lost a child. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he's kicking up some dust over here, and he's lighting a fire under your ass. And he's like, fly with your heart. Soar with your heart. Don't worry, the grief's not going anywhere. It'll be with you. But again, that's your strength. It's your power. At the same time, you're in utter darkness. You notice you also have found joy. And it's very interesting. It's the weirdest fucking thing, man, to be sitting in dark and have that light and that beauty of, so surreal. That's really living. Life to the fullest. Okay? So he wanted to start the readout with a sermon for all of y'all today.
It's every day. Okay, I don't see that one.
Oh, if you only knew.
Reverend Bolin.
Reverend Bolin.
Reverend Bolin.
I'm just telling you what he said. I wanted to start it with a sermon for everybody. I wanted to come in and prime the pump.
I would love to hear one of his sermons.
We've got a picture of him in a pulpit at a church. And
He's for the people.
Yes.
He's like, I'm really for the people. I'm that. I'm the real. I'm the real. He helps a lot, and he's guiding you in the direction of other people. You can feel it. But it's your free will. He can't force you. He can put a carrot out. Come on. Come on. So All right. One last word to you here. I'm sure we'll be coming back, but he's like, you're telling everybody that you're happy because really you love other people and you don't want them to worry about you. You're telling everybody that life is great because you just love your friends and you don't want them to worry about you. You don't want them to know your darkness. It's okay to say, it sucks.
I do.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're like, I'm really happy. I'm fine. Yeah, well, they ain't believing it anyway, so. Right?
Does he think I've made the right choices other than what he said?
Yeah, every choice you've made, you've had to make along the way. You have to follow your heart. Okay, move there. Buy a house there. No, I want to go and move. I'm go somewhere else. Yep. That's the way it's going to be for you. You have a little gypsy fever for a reason. There comes a time where you're going to have to really settle, but you're not ready to settle down yet. Not really. And so following your heart, going in a particular direction, not necessarily wanting to put roots down where you are right now. And notice how the reed shifts to where you are. So up until this point, you have, everything's good. You haven't done anything wrong. But now that's why you're sitting here, why he's telling you this, because now you're like, I want the house, I don't want the house. I want the house, I don't want the house. He's over your shoulder going, I know. You can sell it. Or you can keep it. What do you want to do? Right? You can't have that. He's staying over here. You know, it's okay to be a lonely heart. So even having a partner, you'll still be a lonely heart. Okay? So understand, having somebody else in your life here, don't you worry. Your grief's not going anywhere. It's still going to be there. So that's what you're afraid of. I don't want to forget him. I don't want to lose him. It won't happen. Ever. Look, here's another thing. He wants to leave this with you on this. You were really lucky that you found me.
That is so him.
Do you know how rare it is to really find your soulmate whilst in the physical? You see a lot of people together, they love each other, but there's a difference between that and that soul power. It's rare. So that's why your grief really matches up to the loss of a child. And you won't get over it, even though you will carry on and you will allow somebody else to hold your hand again. And it might just be platonic, beautiful companionship. Okay? Let's start with that. That's what he said. Okay, slow down.